Good afternoon. I'm going to discuss the 3 different approaches to social welfare. The first is the residual approach. This is basically a safety net type of thing. This would arise when someone is in need, and the family, friends, society cannot meet those needs, so therefore social welfare programs step in. The main one I think of with this as an example would be your Red Cross. Someone has a fire, a disaster, an emergency, Red Cross comes in, assists temporarily, then they step back out. The second one would be your institutional approach. This would be more of a preventative type of nature. The main thing with this would be like Social Security, Medicare. It's preventive in that people who we know are aging, can't work, to prevent them from homelessness, hunger, no medical care, we have these programs. Also, I think of the Affordable Care Act as being the newest form or the newest idea of institutional programs because it's for everyone to keep people from not being insured. Finally, we have the developmental approach. This is twofold. One, it works like the institutional in that it's preventative, but second, it also develops. I think of Head Start or federally funded daycare, Title 20, this type of thing. Yes, it meets the basic preventative need of people not being out of work or people being able to work and send their child to school, but it also developmental human development in Head Start, early education. So to me, those programs are a good example of developmental approach. It is twofold. When asked which one do I agree with, I think all 3 are valid. I lean, I guess, more towards the preventative, that we need programs in place. Well, really, I think all 3. I mean, there's a time when you need that safety net. You need that residual effect. It's an emergency. We need to come in, step in, help, meet the need, and then step out. Let them take care of themselves, what have you. Residual is also your food stamps. Someone's in need, they lost a job, whatever, they need help right now. But let's also then put them in touch with an institutional type of program such as job readiness, job development, to prevent them from losing another job, for example. So they go hand in hand, in my opinion. The developmental approach is kind of newer to me. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, I guess you need to have human development along with prevention, so they can go hand in hand. I can't say that, in my opinion, one is really better than the other. To me, they meet 2 very different needs. I think, like I said, kind of, it's like apples and oranges. The one is for a certain need, the other is to help to prevent those needs. I don't think it would be realistic to say let's go all to institutional because everything can't be prevented. Some things are emergency, they just happen. How do you prevent a house fire? How do you prevent the death of a spouse that was the main breadwinner? Those things are not preventable in nature, so therefore if you have residual social service programs, they can pick up in that aspect. I think that a lot of the government programs lean more towards institutional in nature because the idea of funding is let's prevent it before it happens now, and also with social justice, you want to be more preventative. Let's empower people so that maybe they can prevent some of these things from happening, which is a great idea, and yes, it does work. But I think they both go hand in hand. In the past, I know reading in our social welfare that historically, and when social welfare first began, it was more just residual, just someone's in need. There's an orphanage, there's a pregnancy center, there's N1 mothers, there's the poorhouse, all of that. And then they found that maybe they could start, as society became more institutionalized, to have more institutional programs that would prevent certain components to poverty or certain things that lead to social welfare needs. The developmental approach is a little bit newer, even though it was after World War II, I think it said. It's still newer as opposed to the other two. So that's my perspective on it, and thank you for your time.